Well, this afternoon we're just going to have a go and see if we can try one of these old orbit flies. Now, today we know of the green orbit. It's been a very popular fly and it most probably still is, especially as a late pattern, or especially in Taupo. The original orbits were like this. They had black feathers in the middle and they had colour down the side. They were the red, yellow, green, and they worked really well. Even orange would work. Now, these are old Jack Rams. When the last time he fished, we were sitting having our lunch in the back of his Zodiac boot of his car and talking about flies, and he gave me these as the original orbit. But today we know them as green orbit, but just tied slightly different. These got the two different colour feathers. So we'll give it a go. So we're just going to use, I'm just going to use a 4-hook. You could tie this smaller. I'm just using 7957. We're going to be using an ovals tinsel. We're going to be using a black cape, which we're going to pair the feathers. So when we're pairing these feathers, we take 2 from this side and 2 from that side. I've just got an old saltwater cape, and there's some nice little red feathers here. So I'm just going to take 1 each of these. So I've already got them out. So now we're just going to start with my thread. Do a half hitch. Cut the thread. So I am just going to put a wee bit of glue on there. Now we're going to get our silver. On these old ones I've got a silver tag, and they used to just use this oval tinsel. It can unravel, it can pull down when it's going around the bend of the hook. But you want about 3 turns. So then I'm going to come back up. And I'm just going to catch that right underneath, because that's where I want it. When I come to wind it forward. So got that on there. So now I'm just using red wool, and this is a floor ply, so I prefer to use I don't like it too bulky, so I just split it like that. Okay, so then we're just going to tie this in on the top. Go behind the tinsel, because I want 1 turn behind that tinsel. I always try to tie it on top to keep it tidy. Just going to trim that on an angle. Here we are. All right. Just a bit more glue. Okay. 1 turn. And then wind forward. Just letting this slide. You can slightly unravel it. Or untwist it and work forward. You can just come back quickly and build this up a wee bit. I think I've got enough wool. Yeah, only just enough. Okay. Don't want a lot of bulk at the front. You shouldn't get a lot of bulk if you trim that. 1 half hitch. 1 turn. I just have to swap my glasses. I think they'll wear somewhat. Let's put those others back on. Okay. So now we get our feathers. We've got the 2 from one side. We've got to get the tips there. And then we've got to pull them. Put them on top of each other. Pull them. And then pull them back. So that'll hold together and they won't come apart. Alright. So then we get the other 2. tips together. Hold the tips. Okay, so now we get that one there, the tip, pick the other one up, two tips together. So you can see what I'm doing. I'll put those two together like that. I think one of them might be longer than the other. So one thing you can do when you've done this much, these are the two back ones. I think it's the back ones that are too long. One of them's too long. Or is it the top one? That's these back ones. Right, I've got the tips matching now. So now we get the tip, do the whole lot together. And they should hold together. All right. So now we're going to work out the length. If we want it short and we're going to be casting with it, only do it roughly no longer than the length of the hook or the thing. So you'd only want a tail about that size. But I'm going to use this a bit bigger because these are really good boat flies. So I'm just pulling a bit of fluff off. And I've got to see maybe a wee bit shorter. So I'm just going to cut this. And I'm just going to pinch that. And I'm just going to tie that up to my thumb and forefinger straight down 3 times and just still a bit long, but you'll get the gist of it. Deadly on boat flies. Okay, so I'm just going to trim that, unravel my thread and wind back. Now we've got to get these, so they've got a curve with them too, so that's going that way and that's really going that way there. But I need to get them the same length, so I'm just going to put them together. And then roughly work out how long I want it. So see, I will put it on the side and work out roughly how long I want it. I'm going to go for here for starters. Yep. Just a wee bit more. Then I'll trim them, cut those off, leaving my butt. Then we'll put these on. I have tried marrying the whole 4 feathers together. We'll go 1 minute and the next minute it won't go. So you mostly find this is the easiest. As long as you get them up together. Okay. Now catch them and then you can do this or wet them. Whoops, I've pulled that out. Happens. I'd only caught it a couple of times. And I've got to pull this other one. Don't know what's going on, but I cannot see what I'm doing. Let's try again. This is where if you have problems seeing, use a different colour cotton, cotton that you can see. It's very hard. That's it. Okay, I'm just going to trim these, tie them in, unravel my thread, come back. I'm going to do it. Hold those when you put through, because you can cut through the quill. And then I've done a half hitch. Wind this up. So now you need your bobbin or your dubbing needle and just run a little bit of moisture on there. Hold your tips together and then pull your fibres up. put your pliers on your silver. Now your first turn, that's where it's going to go on an angle. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up, making sure it's untwisted, holding my feathers, pull straight down and look down over the top of it and make sure it's straight. That first one is really, really critical. Come up. On an angle, keeping it. Next one. Okay. So I'm just going to catch this. 1, sometimes it'll end up at the top or sometimes at the bottom. 2, 3. Now cut it, leaving 1/4 of an inch, a few mil, and then pull it. And you'll see it unravels. So then you can tie that in a lot tidier, and it won't, the silver won't pull out because there's no bulk. I'm having a terrible problem seeing. Now I'm just going to come back, do a half hitch. One turn, and now I've just got a stray hackle. The webbier, if you can get it webbier for the hackle, the better, but in the webby I mean it's more webby in here. Now we're going to tie this facing us. Pull back with, whoops, pull back with your thumb and finger. And just another turn in front of that turn. Another turn. I could see this was a little jungle cock early in the morning. Be very good. But it's a good fly. Now we're just slowly building the head up. And we're just catching the base of those feathers till they're lying back. Now I do a whip finish. Trim your thread. How's it looking? It's looking really nice. And then we'll just glue your head with whatever glue that you normally use. And that's your orbit. But today you know it as green orbit. Just tie a little bit different, but that's where the green orbit started. So you can imagine that with orange, with green and black. It works really, really well. All the best.